Hi everyone. I am Liberty Rowan's mom. Um, Sorry for any noise that's in the background. It's still loud here despite a huge hole that leaves immense silence. Hmm. I'm in Liberty's room. This is the first time I've come in here in a couple of weeks, but I came here to do this video because even though she was messy, my room is a disaster right now. I can't go in the living room and do this because my other two kids are in there. Um, so I just wanted to make this video. I'm not going to try to be on here very long because I don't know um, how this will upload to Facebook. I don't know. I don't know anything. So I'm going to talk about the things that people have asked about. Um, some things in particular have been signs that we could have seen maybe posthumously or that we recognized. There were a lot, so I'm going to try to make this as quick as I can. Okay, I wrote it like it would be a post, but the reason I'm doing this video is because it was so long. Okay, so I'll be looking down a lot. I'm sorry. Okay, so let's begin that with suicide is the second leading cause of death for children ages 10 to 14. Liberty was 10. Rowan was 10. She decided in May that she wanted to be called Rowan, and I was trying really hard to get used to it. Everyone was trying. Okay, so second leading cause of death. It's the ninth leading cause of death for children ages 5 to 9. It's a huge problem. Um, I'm not going to be silent about it. And I need everyone to understand that Liberty was not just bullied. Everyone thinks that she was just bullied, and that's why she committed suicide. But that's not true. She was bullied, but she gave it back to the bullies. She was feisty. When I say that she was a unique child, she was a unique child. She was amazing. So, um, the internet is crazy, and yes, there were some things that I don't even completely know yet. There were some comments on videos and things, but she, like I said, she gives it back to them. In her classroom, there were uh, several boys that she had been sitting beside, and they had to actually take her out of her class, put her in a different classroom because they were making fun of her, and it was just a little bit too much for her. So I'll get to the reason for that soon. But I want to start with kind of the way it began. So for the past several months, um, I noticed around January, February, really it was around February, her eating habits did start to change. I saw her stop eating things that she usually loved. She said she just wasn't hungry. Her weight didn't change significantly, though. It was just something I kept an eye on. So in February, she came home from school, and she had pulled all her eyelashes out. I asked her why, and she said she just felt like she had to. I called the therapist that very day, and we started therapy immediately. The next day, she came home from school without eyebrows. This is what caused the bullying in her class. She looked weird. She looked different. It was something that people, if we didn't have eyelashes and eyebrows, we would think nothing of it. But because people do, it's different, and so people are mean about it. We had to switch her classes because she was hairless. It was devastating for her because her anxiety caused her to pull. She was anxious, and then the backlash from those students made her feel ugly and caused kids to leave her out at school. She started to feel alone. After a while, it was like pulling teeth to get her to even bathe. I had to tell her, hey, you need to go take a bath. You need to shower, something. She's like, but I did that. I just did that like a couple days ago. I'm like, we could get by with every other day, maybe. You're young, you're not super sweaty and gross yet because she hadn't hit puberty yet. So every other day was okay with me. But it was getting to the point that she wouldn't, and she's like, pool water will wash me off. Anyway, I started buying her things that might help her want to take a bath more. But it didn't really help that much. I bought bath bombs and their own or her own shampoo and her own body wash that that she picked out, these things that she wanted instead of me picking it out. I tried her dental hygiene. It was poor too. She started saying, I haven't brushed my teeth in 4 days. I'm like, we gotta change that. So she went and she picked out an electric toothbrush because that was just cooler than a normal toothbrush. So she ended up telling me that she wanted to kill herself, that she might want to kill herself. She thought about killing herself. So I then called Pathways. Her therapist was on vacation that week, so I called our family doctor. The family doctor said, call Pathways again. So I did that, and they sent a mobile crisis unit to our house. They suggested that she be placed into a psychiatric facility. And that was called the Walker House, and that's in Moorhead, Kentucky. So we went there that night, did all the intake. She was there that very night. She stayed there several days. I would have to look back to know exactly how many, but she stayed there, and she was prescribed Prozac. And that was they asked me about prescribing Prozac, and but it was over the phone. It was a verbal agreement. I really hadn't looked up a lot of information about it. But I agreed, whatever we have to do to try to make her better. She finally came home, and I had to make sure she came to my classroom at school instead of her riding the bus home, because I couldn't leave her alone anymore. And she would get home about 30 to 45 minutes before I did if I had let her come home on the bus. So one day while she was at a neighbor's house, I was cleaning her room, and I vacuumed the razor and found bloody tissue. I got her from her friends to go to church the next day. And I was holding her during the sermon. And then, as I typically do, I just stuck my hand up her hoodie sleeve, and there were cuts all over her arm. Um, I just pretended not to know, but I knew that she knew that I knew. But I pretended not to know. But then I took her downstairs because she was clearly crying. She hid her face. She hid her face and her legs with her hoodie on top of her. I took her downstairs, and she got a donut, and I let her play on her iPad. I had her sister come down to play with her while church finished. When we got to the van to go home, oops, sorry. She fell asleep. I knew she wasn't really sleeping, but was trying to avoid talking about the situation. So we always take Sunday naps. It is tradition. So when we got home, I asked if she'd like to lie down with me. It was hot, so I asked her to take off her hoodie to get more comfortable. And she said she didn't want to. I said, I already know, baby. So you can take your hoodie off. We can talk about it now or after a nap. She chose after a nap. While she slept, I cuddled her and took pictures to document her injuries. I have the pictures. I've not shared any of that. I might in the future. I don't know. I've tried to be very open because of all the crazy that people have said about me as a mother, us as a family. It's very, very hurtful, and she would just think that's preposterous because she loved us just as much as we loved her. So she went after all those wounds were found. I called her therapist, and her therapist suggested that she go to a different psychiatric hospital, and we took her right away. It was called the Ridge. Again, she said I don't know if I told you before, but she had said that she was faking getting better on the Prozac. She faked it. At the Ridge, when we visited her, when we talked to her on the phone, she said, she was scared. She didn't like the place. She wanted me to try to come get her. I tried to come get her, and they said that they would be forced to put her on a 48-hour hold if I tried to get her. I knew that in my care, mine, that she would have been fine. She would have been good. But I didn't want to keep her. Didn't want them to hold her there and make her stay longer. So I'm like, I want whatever's best for her. So they had her stay. I went and visited her, and she said, I'm gonna fake it so I can get out of here. Told her therapist about that, to keep everyone aware of what was happening. So she was gonna fake it until she was able to come home. During her stay at the Ridge, they changed her medicine to Zoloft. So Prozac, really fast switch to Zoloft. Again, I had to give a verbal agreement over the phone. So they thought she was okay to come home, but she had to be watched 24/7. We got 2 cameras. If I had a babysitter for shows, I watched her while I was at them. At night, she would sleep with me almost all the time. And if she wasn't asleep with me, I slept with my phone underneath my pillow. I'm a very light sleeper since all this happened. And I would hear the notification of her camera, and I would look at the camera and see what she's doing. So I didn't get a lot of sleep um, during all of this. It was okay with me. I didn't mind. It was something that I knew was unsustainable, but I was able to do it. Um, so when she would sleep with me, oh gosh, I think God gave me this moment with her. Um, I pulled her in, spooned her, and I said, just your presence calms me. And it did. It was like if I had high blood pressure, and I know I don't, but if I did, it was like, it's gone. All the stress that we were going through, it was gone. It was utter peace. And she turned around and faced me and put her little head, not neck, her little head into my neck. And it was just a really peaceful moment. So I'm sure God gave that to me as a gift. It's one of my last memories with her. And it felt so good. Okay. The Tuesday before she died, we both had terrible mental health days. She was okay. In the beginning of the day, she was sending me links to the things she wanted for school. I began ordering, did not get everything ordered. I've considered ordering everything now just to put in her closet because I didn't get them. I didn't get them for her. After we were doing that, it was like a switch. She covered her face in one of her Gur hoodies. I don't know where it is right now, and asked if she could go to her room. I aggravated her so much during this day. I texted her relentlessly. It was always, I'm okay. I'm fine. I went in all day long, the entire day, to check on her. I texted her between checking on her physically. Finally, at 11 at night, I went in and said, get up. Let me make your bed cozy. She didn't want to get up, but she got up. She seemed a little better after she got up and started talking to me. I made her bed cozy, and I cleaned her room. I told her that having a clean room helps when we're sad or struggling. And it does. I mean, for me, it does. I sometimes don't even want to sleep in my room because it's a catch-all for all the things in the house. When I don't want to put it up, it goes in my room for later. And then I can't sleep. And so I told her getting all this stuff put away would help her feel better. I found a huge clump of hair while I was cleaning her room. She had gotten some scissors from her friend that I didn't even realize she had. I asked her, I'm like, where did you get scissors? And she said she and her friend had been doing art. And so her friend brought those scissors over because Liberty wasn't allowed to have scissors. She wasn't allowed to have anything sharp. So she had cut her hair with those scissors, just tons of hair, and her hair was not long anyway. She had told me that she had really wanted to pull her eyelashes and eyebrows. I'm like, let's think of some other coping skill. What can we do? And that's what she ended up doing. She was really impulsive, and she had done that between me texting her, watching her on the camera, and coming into her room. So it was something I missed, and I mean, she could have done anything. I am very imperfect. but I tried very, very hard. There was not much time for her to do anything that day. I was right on her the whole day, so surprising to me. Anyway, she asked if I said, "Did you cut your hair?" And she said, "Yeah, does it look bad?" And I said, "No, baby, it just might need a little shaping." Um, and I had never gotten to shape it. Never got to. Um, that Wednesday, she decided to release her frogs, one of which she had had over a year. That is the single biggest sign I had. I was like, why are you releasing your frogs? We had just ordered a new lamp for her frogs and was able to cancel the order because she made the decision so suddenly. Um, she said that they just looked so sad. And I didn't beat around the bush. I said, "Are you going to kill yourself?" She paused very briefly, but she said no. She had no sadness when releasing these frogs, which was really shocking to me. I was outside when she released them. I went out. She put them in the grass. And I said, maybe we should see if we can put them in the pond or someplace that they'd be more comfortable. She ended up putting one behind her house, in like a wet area. And then she released another one in a pond. So yeah, that worried me more than anything else probably until this next part. I looked at her camera when I saw some motion, and she had tied a blanket, her blanket, around her loft bed. And it was hanging down, and I stormed in her room. I'm like, "What is that?" And she said, "Look, Mom, I made a swing." And she did. She was able to swing on it, but I was trying not to believe that it was something um, that I thought it was. So I said, "Oh, can you take it down so you'll have a blanket for nighttime, so you'll be warm?" And then she took it down. On Friday, she was supposed to complete her first actual EMDR session for PTSD. She had several sessions preparing her for it, and they were exhausting to her. She just, it was a lot. It's a lot to address your traumas, and for a 10-year-old, that's even more difficult. She begged me on that Friday to let her skip that day. In hindsight, I wish I hadn't let her skip it, but talked to her therapist, and her therapist said, well, maybe she's not ready to start this therapy. She's not quite ready. She said we could ease into it a little more and make her more comfortable addressing the hard issues. So we didn't go. That Saturday, we had gone shopping. She bought $50 worth of things from Five Below, and she bought white foundation and black lipstick from Ulta. Once we were home, she played with her new things, squishies, Legos, and she never used the makeup. She ate dinner that Saturday. Her dad made butter chicken or chicken curry at her request. she went to her friend's afterward. Um, I told her she could go to her friend's house. I I had decided to go with a friend to I don't know what's happening right now, but I'm sorry. She had I had decided to go with a friend to an event in town. I never ever go to anything um alone. I mean, I had my friend, but that's not that's unusual. I don't ever do that. Um, I had told Liberty that she could go to her friend's house, and she left for her friend's house almost immediately after I left for my event, which was around 8:30 that night. Um, she went to her friend's house, and they had gotten her a gift while they were gone. Um, and it was an Invader Zim toy. It's over here, which it's over here. They paid her for watching their dogs. Um, I'll tell you about that in a minute. But I got some text messages from her around 9. Um, they were just simple messages. Um, she ended up going home around 10:30 at night. Um, and she said that she was going to go to her room. She wasn't allowed to close her door unless she was either changing clothes or I had the camera on and was watching it. That was the arrangement we had made to give her a little bit more freedom. That was all I could give her. I couldn't not watch her. Um so anyway, she came back home. It was 10:30 and I got a call at 12:08 saying it was from my daughter. Um and she said Liberty tried to kill herself. And she said, "She's not responding, Mama." And I got here by, I think it was less than 5 minutes later. I was here. The ambulances, fire trucks, policemen, they were all here. And they had just put her in the ambulance when I got here. When I came into her room after the hospital that night, um, I was looking around. I've kept her dirty dishes. I have kept things that you would normally throw away. I've kept them. Her room is in this disarray still. It's very messy. And that's just the way she was. She was really messy, and that's why I had to come in and clean her room sometimes. But she helped me usually. Um, on her bed, that $20 that she got from the neighbor, it was spread out. Um, that spiral from the first time she went to Walker House, which was in April, and then she went to the Ridge in May, got on the new medicine and was dead by July 20th. I'm going with that the medicine was negatively affecting her mental health. I will be doing some more research, and yeah, this is what I know right now. And yeah, today's a month to the day that she's been gone. So I would show you her room, but I don't know if that's appropriate. So I'm going to be finished with this video for now. You understand why I made it? I'm assuming it's just a lot of information. So if you see your children going through any of those similar things, not eating, not bathing, talking about dying, releasing or giving away things, releasing animals, giving away possessions, writing things, which we found a lot of writing after it happened. But there were several attempts that she made, and I think that I've talked about those previously. But yeah, let me know if I can help anyone in any way. If there's anything that I've been through that could help you, I'm here. Thank you.